Yes, welcome to BPM. You know what? My teeth look yellow, man. What is this?
What's looking yellow?
My teeth. Yeah, man. Welcome.
Nah, man.
They don't yellow. Look white. Good. That's good. I like to hear that. Welcome to the Euro 2020 review show. Obviously, we're following England and a couple of other things. We're gonna start today with England. Obviously, no. Actually, before we start, we're gonna send out well wishes to Ericsson.
Ericsson and his family, man.
He suffered a cardiac arrest, but he's all right now. Apparently, he was talking about the Danish team is worse off than he is at the moment because they lost. So he's got his spirit. At least he's got his sense of humor.
He's got his sense of humor. But boy, I was watching that yesterday, man, and that was just so. That was hard. In fact, I'd actually looked down. I was doing something on my phone, and then I looked back up, and I heard one of the commentators say, "This is just simply awful." And I was trying to piece together exactly what was going on. And yeah, man, it was some hard viewing, man. It really was some hard viewing, and I thought he'd gone. I'll be honest, I thought he'd gone, and
he was.
We were working on
it. He died.
And then yeah, it was amazing recovery, and yeah, man. Best wishes out to his family and his. I saw his wife obviously come running on the pitch or whatever as well, man. So yeah, best wishes to his wife and his family, and yeah, man. Hope he makes a speedy recovery, man.
Yeah,
but on to today.
After a winning start, you know. you don't need Croatians.
I met a few. Obviously, I've not got any close Croatian friends. But when I lived out in Greece, there was quite a few Croatian people living out there, and I had Croatian friends out there. And yeah, man. So,
all right, I got a friend. I got a friend at work, and he's giving it the lip. He was talking like, "Yeah, England, that'd be easy win for us, and then we'll beat this team." And I was like, "Dude, this ain't the same England." I was like, "This ain't the same England. You're not gonna just come there and think we're there to make up the numbers." And I'm looking forward to seeing him when I get back to work, man. So anyway, 1-0. Raheem Sterling scoring a good goal.
Took his goal well, man. It's one of those goals like a quarter of a second later, man. That defender's got that away. Like he literally just got that shot away just before that challenge come in, man. So, but yeah, man. Like I was more impressed with. I mean, it was a great finish, man. But like Calvin Phillips, man.
Phillips.
We had I think you've seen I put in the group chat just before we started. I was a bit surprised at a couple of the selections. I think a few people were surprised. Trippier starting on the left. Obviously, we've got Shaw and Chilwell in the side, who are really, really good players. So yeah, to have Trippier start on the left, but I said he's sound. I said he'll put in a performance, and he did. But I was a bit surprised with Calvin Phillips starting. I didn't think they were going to start with Rice and Calvin Phillips and that, man. But the balance they struck was just really, really impressive, man.
Yeah, and he did a mammoth in midfield, man. I must admit, I saw him holding off like 4 guys and keeping the ball. I was like, "Yo, who's this kid?" I was really
he's part of that lead side, and there's a couple of them in that lead side who have got that bit of grit, man. It reminds me taking back. Do you remember the side that had like Harry Kewell and Lee Bowyer and Smith and Rio Ferdinand and all these amazing players, man. Actually, Paul Robinson or Nigel Martin in goal, and I think it was Gary Kelly down there. They had some just really, really good players in that squad, and it just kind of took me back down to that, man. One of them battle axe midfielders who were going to like a young Gareth Barry, I'd say.
Yeah.
Obviously he didn't play for Leeds, but like that kind of holding player, man. He done a really. And Rice had a good game as well. Solid.
Yeah. Actually, let's go through the lineup quickly. We had Pickford in goal. What do you think of Pickford today? He was all right, man. He didn't have much to do.
Yeah, he didn't have much to do, did he? Really? Like that's the thing. I think one shot come at him, and what he did, I did notice, like one of these shots that would normally have gone parrying back out to a defence, he actually cushioned it. I can't remember. I think it was Modric who took the shot early in the second half, and he got down and he just took the sting out of it. That's good from Pickford, because he's been known for letting them ones kind of spill.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I remember that shot myself, and I thought to myself, man, he's got to hold that. He's got to hold that. But sometimes he's probably like, luckily there was defenders in the way, because how quickly it is before when the attacker gets on the end of it, and then it's 1-0 down. Okay, so we have Walker at right back.
He was mammoth, man. I think he was just so calm. And like I always say, like our biggest dilemma is always worrying about who to put in at right back because we're just so blessed in that position. And we've got Trippier, we've got Trent, obviously when he's fit. We've got so many people and people who you could have put more in that England squad, really and truly. Like, you know, it could have been any one of probably 6 players coming in at right back. You know what I mean? Like even like people, you know, Wan-Bissaka, I'm sure he's eligible for England and stuff like that as well. I think so. All these kind of players as well, but he just showed like his experience in his class and like his Manchester City kind of pedigree, man. Like he just cleaned up. He just did everything easy, man.
He's solid, man. Even though he's an ex-Tottenham player. Trippier played at left back, which was probably not his natural position, is it?
Excuse my dog.
Trippier.
Excuse the dog. Yeah, Trippier played really, really well, man. Like I say, left back's not his natural position and stuff like that, but he done really well, man. He did do really well. Like I say, think of anything really he struggled with. It's not like he got overloaded down that wing. They didn't really put any pressure on him or anything like that. He done really well.
Actually, I don't know if you saw before the game, they had a helicopter fly over and he said most of Croatia's goals come down the left side.
Okay.
So always giving obviously Southgate a tip. And actually, I tried to find out if that's actually true, but I couldn't find in the videos. You know, there was sometimes like these compilations on YouTube, and they show basically like all the goals from Croatia leading up to the Euros. But I couldn't find a video. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, today they didn't score anything, so maybe putting 2 right backs in was the right thing.
Yeah, man, it didn't seem to do. But you know, if we could have gone in with Shaw or Chilwell, I think they would have done it. Like what Gareth's done well is he's picked players who are just really composed. I think like he's gone by form, but he's gone by composure. You know what I mean? People who, if you look around the squad, it's a lot of people who just tend to be really good at keeping their head. You know, like look at the fact that Tyrone Mings started today. You know what I mean? Like that for me was one of those sort of things. Again, I questioned it before. And you look at the way he played and that, and it was just so calm and calculated. And like I say, Kelvin Phillips in the middle, again, just a really calm, calculating player and that who just didn't seem to worry under pressure. And I think if you look through the whole squad, there's a mixture between big players and just really composed players who just tend to switch it on every week in the Premier League. I think it's got a good selection.
The team's not only young, they're huge players, and it look like they're shranks, as you would say. Those shranks, man.
Some units, man. Some units.
Some units.
Got some units.
Okay, so you did Mings. Stones played alongside him at the back.
Yeah. The only thing with Stones, obviously, he had to stretch off a little bit. You know, I had a bit of cramp in the first game. I know it was out there, but you know, in these kind of situations, you think are we going to be looking at like rotating the centre backs? You know, is other people going to come in or is that the 2? Are you going to try and keep the 2 because there's going to be rotation a lot? I reckon. I think England have progressed now. I think now we've had that win that'll start us off. We win against Scotland, it's all done and it's done and dusted. So I think England. I mean, I'm not counting my chickens, but we'd hope now like that was the hardest of the 3 games. Yeah. So like I think they might rotate around so I always say around the fringes, so around the wings and stuff like that, but not so much through the centre. A lot of teams don't like to go through the spine, so you'd expect probably Declan Rice and probably what's his name now? I've just lost his name again now. You set up the goal.
Phillips,
yeah, again. Yeah, Calvin Phillips. I'd expect them probably to start the next match as well, but I think what they tend to do is not rock the centre, you know, like the spine. So I reckon the centre backs to start, the centre midfield to start, and I think probably obviously Kane is a guaranteed starter. I think for the next game as well. You know, just because of his presence.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out. Anyway, so yeah, Phillips started in the middle. He was really good. Man of the match.
Yeah. For me, yeah, probably. Like, definitely deserved it. Like, he did. Most things did seem to be going through him. I think Sterling had a really good game. I think like he just knitted things together everywhere. I think like throughout the park, everyone played really well. Like I say, Walker, even though he wasn't tested, he got forward quite a few times and that he provided quite a bit. I think that we played well throughout the whole team. But Calvin Phillips did stand out because that was his first competitive match in an England shirt.
Yeah. I think he was
definitely looking like he's going to be the best player on the park. No, I wouldn't. That don't mean nothing. You know, Leeds are a good outfit. True. You know, what I mean, they play football and they work hard under Bielsa, man. They really work hard. So I think Calvin Phillips probably just because of the fact that it was his debut. But I think Walker played really, really well. I think Foden did all right as well. Like he was busy. Like you seen he ran right up until the end. And I mean, like recovery runs and everything like that. You can tell that Pep has his sides really, really fit. You know, you can tell because to be running for 60 minutes, whatever, 70 minutes, like non-stop. That's pretty impressive, especially on a day like today when it's really hot.
Yeah. Okay, so we had Tyron Rice. I think he said a little bit about him anyway. It was
Declan Rice did well. Like he did, like I say, when he's keeping things quiet, that's when you know that he's doing really well. And Croatia didn't really have a threat, and I'd say that probably a lot of that had to do with Rice and Phillips playing well. Yeah, because the recovery runs were brilliant. Like the defense, when you look at the back line, it was so organized. If you ever look at any of the times when Croatia got a shot on target, if you look at the position in the defense, it was like somebody had like put it out on the chessboard almost. It was like perfect, and that was from every angle. Like if you just keep on looking at the recovery runs, it was brilliant. So I think they played really well. But Rice is just really tidy, man.
Yeah, man.
He just keeps things moving.
It was a proper composed performance, actually. I was thinking, and it wasn't even too boring, actually. It wasn't even a boring game because it looked like England had something, that they could, counter-attack or something.
I think what happened is Croatia never turned up, and the problem is we know that Croatia can turn up. Like I said, they've been to finals, there were semi-finalists before, and I think what we expected is at some point they were going to come back into the game, but they just didn't seem to offer anything, it just seemed quite a subdued performance from their point of view.
Oh. Okay, so we had Sterling, match winner, played a good game.
Yeah, I think he had a good game. He had a really good game. I was shocked that he started, to be honest.
I think Saka could have took his place. Any of the front three, Saka could have took the place. Oh, apart from Foden, I think Foden deserved his place. But Sterling was good today, man.
Absolutely, man.
Then we had Mount holding in just behind the striker.
Yeah, Mount doesn't play bad in no matter if he's in an England shirt or a Chelsea shirt. I think I don't think he was as busy as he can be. I just don't think it was one of them days where it was going to be like open from the start. He was, he was. I think we got at them. I think we got at them really well. But Croatia had a good like a good unit together as well. They compacted their midfield and defense quite well. So although we had like chances, they were coming in off the wings, or there was almost chances. You know what I mean? Or we was having a few shots from outside the box. I think as it opened up, I think that's when we kind of came into our own. We done a lot better then. I think we looked a bit more. And Mount can hurt you more when it's a bit more open.
Yeah. I like about this team as well. It's like it's a mix of like, not typically with England, it's always been like the players come from Manchester United, Arsenal back in the day, Liverpool. This time you got a team with basically like Leeds players, Villa players, like a mix of all the teams, man. I like that, man. I feel like that's progression, man. What do you think?
Yeah, not even that. I think to follow that up, a lot of the time, the players that we're most excited to see are the ones that are not the typical. I mean, Saka's an Arsenal player, but obviously Arsenal haven't had a good season this year. So to see him in there, and he's very young, you know what I mean? It's like a breakthrough season for him. So yeah, like even for him, it's really good to see that. But the thing is, like, what Southgate's done is he's kind of said, like I said, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And and those players, like there's players who have missed out. Like if you look at people like Lingard, who had a really stellar end towards the season, he's not just going, okay, then well, I think he's going from the fact that maybe Lingard was a bit inconsistent at United beforehand, even though he had a stellar end. He's gone for consistency. People have done it all the way through the season. Like it's not good enough. You should have half a good season, I think. And you look at is it Ben White as well, who's coming to the side after the injury of Trent. Again, really, really young man, but really composed player. So I think what he's gone for is just, when we always crumble under pressure, I think he's literally looked on the mental side of it as the most important side, as well as being a baller. So that you're not necessarily just going to find at the big clubs. You got your captain, your vice captain, and your influential players, but you got just the players that can turn it on. Until sometimes they get into the game properly, they might be quiet for 60 minutes of a game. He hasn't gone for any of them. He wants people like, look at Connor Cody for Wolves. He's their captain, but he's like a leader through and through. So we've got a lot of that throughout the squad. We could probably put the captain's armband on anyone.
I think so, man. I think so. You got like pretty much 22 captains in the team. Even when I look at
Exactly.
Saka,
I think that's the difference, yeah.
When I look at Saka, I think to myself, he could be a future Arsenal captain. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Foden did his job. Excellent player. Really, I'm impressed with this guy.
Yeah. Sorry about the dog, bro. She's new. She don't understand English, man. I bought her over from Romania, man. She's learning the language still, man.
She's probably mad at England for winning.
Yeah. Well, we beat her the other day, and like she wouldn't talk to me for the night, man.
Okay. So yeah, Harry Kane. He missed the sitter, man. He missed the absolute sitter. Then again,
at full time. He never hurt himself. I thought he was going to hurt himself in that, man. It looked like it was going to be terrible, you know. But yeah, he was, you know what? We got the points, bro. You know what I mean? Like I think she said, like Kane will come to, he'll turn up. Like actually, Lampard I think said it. He will turn up. You know, absolutely, he will turn up.
Yeah, he's one of them guys. And then you had some of the subs. You had Rashford come on. Did all right when he came on. Didn't do too much.
Yeah, I didn't see him do to protect the point. You know, he was trying to protect the points by that point. So I just don't think we really looked to. We did want to stretch him, but Croatia didn't really come back after it. I wouldn't say that much. No. They didn't really offer anything, so England just kept their shape and just saw the game out. And I think Rashford was all right, but he didn't have to really do anything.
Yeah, actually, another guy I was looking forward to, this Bellingham guy, because I heard a lot about him.
Bellingham. Yeah. Jude Bellingham, man. Yeah, he was a Birmingham City youngster, and then he was literally due to sign for United, and Borussia Dortmund said, "Hang on, what about us? We'll play you." Yeah. And then he chose to go to Borussia Dortmund, and United literally thought they had it in the bag. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, they got themselves a nice little deal there, man. I don't know how much they paid for him, but it ran a great deal. And then they got him.
And he's broke the record for being the youngest player ever.
He's really good though. Like you seen it straight away when he came on. Yeah. Like the thing he's good at, he's just like he's good at just grabbing the ball back, offloading it to someone, and then he just gets on his bike, or he gets on his bike with the ball, and he's very creative, man. He's a very, very creative player. He's much in the role, I'd probably say, of he's more attacking than Lampard and that, because he's got that burst, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But he can just win it back, you know. I'm trying to think of probably more like a Modric, actually, even though he's not a Croatian, but somebody who can just grab that ball back and you just don't know what he's going to do. Yeah. Good player though.
Yeah, and then just for honorary mention of Kelvin, he came on for like the last couple of seconds. Okay, so the match stats basically were possession 50-50. You know, the game, even though it looked, I would have said for the first about 70 minutes, 75 minutes, I think it was all England based. I think Croatia offered nothing. And I think at the end they tried to step up as usual, you know, they're trying to come back at the game. So it was 50-50 possession. With both had 8 shots on goal and both had 2 shots on target. Both had a corner each. One corner. There's only 2 corners in the whole game. Crazy. And the foul was 9-10. Croatia had 10, we had 9. So yeah, man, it's looking good, my friend.
Yeah, I think like them stats. I think them stats are a bit false. You know what I mean? They're true, but they're false. You know what I mean? Like I think what Croatia did though, them chances, I would call Croatia's like more half chances, man. It was like half chances from outside the box with you know, hardly any. There was no sting in what they were trying to do. I think at least what we can say with England is when we tried to create the chances, we're trying to penetrate. I don't think Romania really tried to penetrate so much. I think like everything was kind of in front of us, and when they tried to be a bit more biting, Mings or Rice or whoever it was just cleaned it up and dealt with it, and it was gone. You know what I mean? I think there was a couple of passes that I didn't like around the back of the, you know, towards the goalkeeper, not back to the goalkeeper, but across the, that I weren't so keen. Like we don't need to be doing those. I think like we just need to make sure that, because they're the moments that if you look historically, that's where we get caught out. Something stupid like that, or we invite a free kick on the edge of our box in the last minute or something. We need to make sure that we sort that out and keep the and just keep the sort of discipline towards, especially towards the end of games, man. But as a whole, I've been really, really happy. Like I think we look like a different team. Those stats don't show that there's one team really trying to win. And then once we had that 60, 70 minute mark, I think Croatia didn't offer much. I don't think they offered much of a resistance.
Yeah, that's true, man. So anyway, just the last question on this. Would you like to see anything different with the team? I think you mentioned it before, but who would you like to see come in? Maybe you drop out.
I think
team.
I mean, I think I probably would have done something different, and I probably would have took Sterling off when they took Kane off, just because again, like to keep the presence going forward. I probably would have replaced Sterling with somebody like Grealish and maybe packed up the midfield a little bit more, because I think that would have been a different way and kept an aerial threat up front, and then probably you just got you got a bit more of a midfield in there. I think putting Rashford on when we put him on. Obviously, it was more like for like with Foden in it, but I think I think I would have put a more like I would have tried to get another midfielder in there instead of like I say just like for like. I think when you put Bellingham in, that's kind of what happened, but probably more experience. I would have liked seeing Jack come in. I would like to see Jack have a game.
Jack the lad in it. All right, let's just quickly run down on the game so far. So on Friday evening, we had Turkey versus Italy. Italy, one of my teams I thought could do well. Convincing win. Did you watch the game?
No, I didn't, but I've seen the highlights of it. Yeah, it was very, very convincing, man.
Very convincing. Turkey offered nothing. They were a bit like Croatia today. Rubbish.
Yeah, like I said, and Italy were like brutal with it. You know, like they were very clinical. I think that was the difference between like the Italians and us today. Really, the Italians had a few more clear-cut chances, and when they had them, they just buried them. They absolutely buried them. So
and that player, that player Insignia, or his name Insigne.
Yeah.
He's a killer, man. Hey, that guy's a killer, man. Look out for this guy.
There's some good players in that Italian squad.
Yeah, the defense looks proper old though, man. I was like, yo, how old this geezer's playing? He's like 80.
Do you know what it is though? Like they're known for their defense. Like Italians are not. They're known for the defensive organization. Like they're not the kind of team who are gonna have like a trend like flying forward like in their back four or their back three, and that their defenders are staying rooted. They are not going anywhere, and you'll probably have a holding player. They have very, very defensive structures, and they build from the back very patiently. It's a surprise that we used to love Italian football so much, you know, back in the 90s, because it's always been that way where it's defensive football. It's almost like Mourinho-esque.
Yeah, that's true, man. Okay, so on Saturday we had Wales versus Switzerland. Did you watch that game? 1-1.
No, I didn't watch it.
Team, isn't it? Yeah, well, I didn't get to really see it myself, but yeah, I guess Wales got a draw.
That's a fair result, I think.
That's a good result.
I think that's a fair result. Switzerland are not a bad side, man. I think that's a good opener, man. I don't think it's terrible.
No, keeps them in the mix. Denmark, Finland. Obviously, there was the incident with Eriksson. Then they stopped the game, and then they resumed it like 3 hours later or something stupid like that. Finland ended up going on to win, which I thought they should have played the next day. At least made the players come down a little bit. I think it was a bad decision to resume the game on that day. They could have said tomorrow.
You know, I don't actually agree myself. I don't actually agree because I think by then they knew that Christian Eriksen weren't in any real danger. Then he wanted to see the game go forward, and just because obviously the format of the tournament is very difficult to reschedule a match. You know what I mean? Like until the point where probably one team would have to be disqualified for almost walking away, and you wouldn't want to put that on Finland to make them concede the game because of what's happened to Denmark. And Denmark, you wouldn't want them to exit the tournament, especially if Christian Eriksen's done okay. So I think any way to try and move the game forward was good. I do agree that emotionally, I don't think Denmark... In fact, to be honest, I don't think Finland were there. I think they played a very dull, almost respectful, even in the challenges. If you would have watched the way they were challenging each other, it's almost like it wasn't competitive anymore. It was like an exhibition. And I think that kind of left it to be like a training game where any goal could win it. And yeah, it was quite dull, but under the circumstances, you can kind of understand.
Yeah, massive respect to Finland because they didn't even celebrate the winning goal or anything. They were just like, no, you know, we're just playing now just to get it over and done with. It's not, you know, the game meant nothing. You know, it was like, well, this game means nothing. We're just gonna play it. Okay, Belgium, one of the world #1 team, by the way. Killing Russia. Yes, they're absolutely killing them. That team is so dangerous, man. Eden Hazard, Lukaku.
Lukaku, bro. When Man U sold him, obviously for those who are watching, I'm a Man U fan. When Man U sold him, I did get that he wasn't the right fit for what Solskjaer was trying to do. You know what I mean? We wanted like one of these kind of, even it's probably a bad example, but an Alexis Sanchez kind of somebody who's got skill and can be a player or be like a number 9 or whatever, as well as being a focal point. Lukaku was a bit clunky for Man U, but he was always a goal scorer. He scored in 1 and 2 even in the United shirt. And now he's gone. I didn't want him to go anyway, and now he's gone. I just want him back, man. I just want him back. He's a machine. He's a machine.
I'm looking at their team, man. Yo, Courtois, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Eden Hazard, Mertens, Lukaku, Carrasco, Mertens played yesterday. Man, yo, look at this team. Yo, just oozing sauce. They don't even have De Bruyne in the team. That's the scariest thing. He ain't even in the team. He must be injured or something. But yo, that's crazy, man. So yeah, Russia got put to the sword yesterday. Yeah, so Belgium.
I don't think they'll be the only one. There's no shame in it, man. I think there'll be a lot of people put to the sword by Belgium this year.
Yeah, probably
competition.
Got a great team, but maybe a little bit. I don't know, man. They remind me of Holland or Netherlands. They got these great players, but for some reason they just can't get over the line. I think they'll suffer the same fate. All right, I think that's it. Austria's playing North Macedonia at the moment. It's 1-1. We're not gonna hang around for that game. So yeah, man, dude. On to the next. Croatia been hammered. Well, I haven't been hammered, but been put to the sword. We go on.
I think that's the way we'll describe it for Croatia. They definitely didn't turn up today. Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe they felt like they really were in England's backyard. I don't think it was a particularly intimidating affair for them, but they just did not turn up. Yeah. I think it was an exercise in mediocrity from them by their standard, by their own standards. And I think with the side aging, like, you'd expect more from players like Perisic or Rakitic or Modric had a fairly good game. He was consistent, and that the goalkeeper didn't. He had a pretty good game as well, but. Yeah, there was nothing. Was there? Like, not for the. If you look at the players they've got, they didn't seem to be offering anything.
Yeah.
From our point of view, we just need Kane to have a good second game, or maybe give him a rest. Get Dominic on in the next game in his place. Calvert-Lewin, and just see what happens. But I think Kane will be fine. He will turn up.
Yeah, well, we've got about 6 days for next game. Next game's on Friday. I'm thinking, should we meet up again on Tuesday, man? France are playing Germany. I don't know if we should be there for that.
Yeah, man, why not? Why not?
That's a big game, isn't it? That's a big game. Let's try and cover that game as well. All right. Actually, wait, Tuesday. Oh man, podcast day. We'll see, man. We'll actually could do it after. Yeah, all right. All right. Si, I thank you for being around. Yeah. I'll catch up with you in the week, man.
All right.
Peace. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, man.